It's not ideal weather and water conditions, but let's see what we can do. Mainly just getting out in the kayak, just having fun. Don't know that we'll catch anything, but we'll try to. Don't know how I'm going to be able to respond to comments on here. I'll try. See if I can reach my pole. Water muddy, of course. We've been having a lot of rain and storms, so let's see if we can get any bites. A lot of carp in this muddy water. Hope everybody's doing well. Oops. I have to move that my water. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's about 75 degrees this morning. It's pretty humid. Yeah, the water's pretty muddy today. I don't know if you guys got rain where you was at, but we had some pretty good rain last night. Pretty good rain. Hey Herbert, how you doing? Good morning, brother. Pretty much just gonna explore the lake this morning, throw out a few times and see. I might head out towards the dam up here and get away from this garbage in the middle. How'd everybody's weekend go? Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. We didn't do nothing for the 4th. We just stayed at home and played it safe. I'm gonna head towards the dam, explore over there. It's really hard to see the comments. I'll do my best. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see the comments to get out here in this sun. What's it say here? Acting, huh? You gotta stays good out here. Got some lily pads. Comments as much, but you'd rather see the view anyways. I thought I'd get out and do some kayaking, not so much fishing this morning. Not gonna have live tonight. I've got something this evening. Gonna be helping a friend out this evening, so won't be doing a live, which is good. Let's see if I can see any comments. I'm gonna have to take you off my Show some love. I appreciate that. Hey Nancy, how you doing this morning? Appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. Very hot weekend. And Bella said hi. How you doing this morning? Just out on a local lake here, doing some mostly kayaking. I'm gonna throw some spinner baits and maybe some rattle traps, a few things. See if I can't get lucky, but might head up in the river here after a little bit. I'm gonna explore out over here by the dam and stuff. Appreciate you guys coming in. Yeah, I should have brought me a tripod's what I should have brought. Rigged it up where I could see the comments more, but kind of a spur of the moment thing. This is a lot shallower over here too, so I'm gonna get over there towards the side over where it's deeper too. Usually that grass out there, when the water's here against that grass, and do pretty good. But I didn't expect to do too good today. I just wanted to get out in the kayak mostly. Yeah, the water's pretty shallow up in here, but if you can throw up against that grass, sometimes you get lucky. Water's down quite a bit right now, even though we've had a little bit of rain. Hope everybody had a good 4th. I'll stop every now and then and check comments. Just figured I'd take you guys along with me. Kind of hard with the trade, and I figured it'd be a little difficult to do comments. A lot of turtles out here. But there's usually better fishing over towards I don't know if you can see it yet, but there's fishing docks over there. That side of the lake is a little better usually, but right now, like I said, if you was into carp, or I guess if I was catfishing, that might be okay. But I didn't come prepared. I didn't have any live bait. I didn't want to stop and get any worms or minnows. Mainly just to get out and enjoy the morning. What time is it? 8:32. I was wanting to get out here a little earlier, but I slept in, which is nice. Seen a lot of carp this morning. A lot of carp. There was quite a few fireworks going off last night still at our house. It's amazing. We go off for about a week or two before the 4th, and a week or two after the 4th. I know a lot of people have different times that they celebrate with their families. Big carp in front of us. Some big turtles too. Let me look at comments here. Okay. Whoa. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Campfire and Dirty Tires. How you doing? Just strolling around on the muddy lake this morning. Hey, PR Fishing Journal. How you doing this morning? Hope you have a wonderful day as well. I'm gonna head over to the bluffs on the side over there, I think, and then follow that around. Yeah, the river below the dam would probably be pretty decent today. I don't know if a person wanted to do some Night crawlers or minnows would probably do really well down there. Hey honey, how are you this morning? How's work going for you this morning? Did you have anybody first thing this morning? I don't know if if the picture quality is good and the sound's good. Should keep fairly decent up here. That's why I picked this spot, that I'd have a good signal. Thought about just doing a video. Yeah, you had somebody already? Cool. I don't know if you guys can see very good. I'm gonna put you back on the mount so I can do some paddling and maybe a couple casts. Be bad to snag one of those big old carp. That'd be a heck of a fight in this kayak. It'd pull me all around the lake, wouldn't it? Who needs a trolling motor? Just hook onto a big carp and let him pull you around the lake. That'd be funny. Yeah, usually if it wasn't so muddy in here, it'd probably be pretty good for bass today. He's into turtles, carp, and some muddy catfish. This particular lake's not good for eating fish. Yeah. I don't know of anybody that keeps fish out of it. I'm sure somebody does, but I sure wouldn't. Not only is it muddy, but it's in our bigger city, close to where we live, and it's pretty nasty. It's fun. I've caught some big largemouth, some big catfish in here before. Some big fish in here. It's fun to fish and fun to kayak, but definitely not fun to keep fish. I don't know. People say not to keep it, but people fish in worse areas. Which I'm not a huge person to keep fish. I mostly catch and release. Unless I'm catching like crappie or walleye. Good eating fish. But I like catch and release mostly. Catfish in a place like this would be really muddy. Let's head over to the bluff over there. There's a few fish jumping, but mostly little carp and stuff. Yeah, those lily pads do pretty good with bass. Usually for topwater early in the morning, when it's not so muddy. It seems like when it's this muddy in here, you don't do near as good. Get over towards the bluffs over there and be a little deeper. Water might be a little cleaner over by the fishing docks and over by the dam too. I'm gonna head over that way too and see if I can't. Like I said, the water is fairly shallow in here usually, so it's pretty fun for top water, and some spinner baits work really well. We got some pretty heavy pop-up thunderstorms last night, periodically kind of spread out through our area. Let me head this way. Last time I was over there, towards the bluffs over there, there's a big old copperhead snake stretched out on a log. I was out here with a friend of mine kayaking. And I go strolling by this big old log, and a snake sprawled out across that tree. He's like, "Hey, look over beside you." So I look over there. I was like, "Whoa, that's a big snake." As long as he stays out of the kayak, I'm okay. But if the snake goes in the kayak, this kayak belongs to the snake until I get it out of that kayak. The boat with us in the canoe. Man, we got out of that canoe just as fast as that snake got in the boat with us. That boat was in the river without us. That was pretty funny. Yep, Herbert, she's definitely my better half for sure. Better half for sure. She's amazing. Sounds good. A little grainy, but not bad. Yeah, I don't even know what my signal is out here. I'm on LTE, that's the problem. Yeah. If I get closer to the highway on the other end, I'd have better signal. Yeah, I was afraid it might be a little grainy. Hopefully it clears up. Alright, no comments to talk to, so I'll try to get going some more and get some casts over here near these trees on the side. I've done pretty good over here in the past, but like I said, today I'm not expecting much. Just getting out and enjoying a beautiful morning. It is very humid, as you can expect after all that rain. Very humid. Like I said, it's creeping up slowly to 80. It was about 75 when I got in the water. I didn't look at what the humidity level is, but it's pretty high. Let me back up away from the shore. I don't like being too close to the shore. That looks like a good spot right there. If I was a fish, I'd lay right in there in the shade. There is a lot of largemouth bass in this lake. A lot of bluegill, a lot of catfish, obviously carp. They say there's crappie, but I've never caught any. I have caught, like this spinnerbait that I'm using, I have caught catfish on, oh, right in the tree. I have caught catfish on lures out here quite often. So I could hook into a channel cat pretty easy. I thought about going down to the river and launching in the river, but I'd have to bank the kayak up, down river and then walk back up the river to get the vehicle on. I'd have to float down to a takeout spot, and I don't really want to do that much walking. Throw underneath that tree. There we go. Not much of a breeze to speak of this morning either, so that's making it a lot warmer than, well, and the humidity too, but no breeze is kind of brutal this morning. I was hoping for a little bit of a breeze, but it makes it easier to kayak and fish. Oop, man, did you see that fish flop right next to the shore? There was a fish right up against the rocks. That's what I'm looking for. It didn't look like a carp, but I didn't get a super good look at it. Oh, getting right up against that brush and those rocks is where you want to be at on this side. Like I said in the past, and there's shade over here. That was my objective a lot for this is, oh, right in the tree. That's my objective for getting closer over here too, is get in the shade. It's a nice morning. A little short. Getting too close to those trees. It's a nice big walnut tree there. And there's a sycamore there in front of us. Let me turn around here. But that's the view of the other side. Not too bad. I don't know if the picture's clearing up any for you to be able to see. Hopefully I get a better signal where it clears up good. Hey Mainly, how are you doing? How's everybody doing this morning? Just out here on the kayak, piddling around. Show us how it's done. Yeah, this up here is a little rough with all the muddy water we got going on here. Yeah, I should have went up to Stockton. If I had more signal to do a live up there, where I fish out up there, I probably would catch something up there for sure. But I don't know. I might head up the river here in a little bit and try to catch something. White spinner baits work really good. I wish I had double silver spinners. Got one gold and one silver with a white. Works really good up here, especially in this muddy of water. Right under there looks good. Oh, there we go. Luckily I didn't get caught under that log over there. Yeah, staying in the shade's gonna be the key here today. Yeah, this is a rod and reel I'm using today is my Lew's rod. It's a laser HS speed stick. I think it's I know it's a medium heavy, 7-foot medium heavy action. And then I've got my Hank Parker's Lew's MCS bait caster. Well used, as you can tell. My favorite bait caster. And Hank Parker, of all the pro fishermen, is probably my all-time favorite, up there with Bill Dance, of course. Bill Dance is a legend. Hank Parker and Bill Dance are two fine gentlemen. Usually when somebody's getting into fishing or whatever and wants some pointers, I said, man, watch you some Hank Parker and some Bill Dance, man. You'll learn, especially with bass fishing, you'll learn a lot. Good thing about Bill Dance is he does catfishing and a little bit of everything too. I mean, mainly he's a bass fisherman, but he catches, they both do, catch a little bit of everything. Oh, this shade here is nice. It feels good. Did wear my long sleeve fishing shirt, so I don't have to worry about getting burned up so bad. Ooh, good thing about being in a kayak, when you do get hung up, you can just go right over to it and retrieve your lure pretty easy. I'm hung up on this little tree, submerged tree here, it looks like. Probably see quite a few snakes today, I'm imagining. Usually do. There we go. Just like that, get her out. Just go past your bait. I know most of you know that, but some people don't know that. Just float out to where you get hung up. And go past a little bit and usually get it right out. Right up against that rock. Nice. Oh, couldn't do that again if I tried. Whole new difference in casting when you're sitting down in a kayak. This is my set-in kayak. We have a set on top as well. But I'm used to standing up in a boat. So when you're sitting down, oh, got the tree. Let's go get it out. Boy, I landed right in that. Let's just go right over there and get it. Yeah. Yeah, I like to sit in, mainly when it's hot like this and you don't have a lot of shade. You can wear your shorts and your feet don't get all burned up. You don't have to put sunscreen on your feet. In a river, I really like the sit in, and not the sit on. Oh man, there's a hole right there in those rocks. I wonder if there's anything in there. Oh buddy, yeah, something uses that. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that hole. Yeah, there's something that lives up in there. Look up in that little cave up in there. Let me see if I can zoom you in on that. Wow. I wouldn't want to crawl up in there. How about you? might get a unfriendly welcome. Yeah, that's not a good spot. That's a big hole. One big old spinnerbait. Yep. Bigger bait you use, the bigger fish you're gonna catch. No, I usually catch a lot of actual big crappie on big bass spinnerbaits. Any fish yet? Nope, nothing yet. Hooked on bass. Trying. As you can tell, the water conditions aren't very favorable. That's why I chose to use a white spinner bait. I usually like the double chrome spinners, but I'm out of the double chrome, so I figured this golden would work. I gotta fix that. Noodle hole, give it a try. Yeah, if I didn't enjoy my digits too much, I might do that. I've seen a lot of gnarly pictures when I was on Facebook still of people losing fingers, and of course you obviously would probably want to use, I see I'm using some kind of gloves, but still, yeah, I'm not much into noodling, never have. I know a lot of people that like to do it. Oh buddy, that was a good cast. Couldn't do that again. Let's catch some fish. Might get lucky today. This part of the lake's not fished very heavily, so I was hoping there might be some hungry fish over here just to strike out of. Oh gosh, I got that limb. Let me see if I can get over that limb. Oh, really? There we go. Ooh. Trying to catch some stickfish. It's a lot harder to, like I said, I went out with my nephew weekend before last. It was nice sitting in the boat, standing in a boat actually, and casting. You gotta learn how to cast wholly different in kayak. Didn't take you too long. I wanted to bring my little bit shorter rod. I know a 7-foot rod isn't ideal for kayak fishing. I usually bring my little, I've got a what's it called, a dock runner, little spin cast, short. It's like a 3.5-foot rod, spinning rod. I like taking it in the kayak, but I haven't got to use my bait caster much this year, so. Plus you can hook into some big catfish here. Last time I took my son, it was when he was pretty young. We ran a little bitty 2-person, it was bantam bass boats, what they call it. A little two-person plastic boat. You can get at Bass Pro. And I was trolling behind it with a Blue Fox spinner. I don't know if you guys know what a Blue Fox spinner is. A silver bell type spinner. One blade, single blade with a treble hook on the back. But yeah, I was trolling behind it. And I hooked into big old 8-pound catfish on that Blue Fox. Needless to say, that thing was pulling me in that little boat. My son and I got it up the side of the boat. My son, he was pretty young at the time. I'd say he was around 10, if I'm guessing, 10 or 12 the most. He's like, Dad, how are you gonna get that in the boat? I said, I'm gonna get it in the boat. I barely got that thing in the boat. I think I had 10 or 15 pound test on my pole that I was using. Got that sucker in the boat. My son still remembers that to this day. We talk about it every now and then. That was a big fish. It was the biggest fish that he'd ever seen caught and witnessed it, you know, and not on TV or whatever, but that was a fun time. That was a fun time. Memories you make with your kiddos out in the outdoors or anywhere for that matters. A gift. Got a lot of good memories. I had to pretty much talk my son into his first ever float trip. He did not want to go to that float trip. He did not want to go for anything. And he had so much fun on that float trip. I knew he would. If I could just get him to go with me, and he went. We flew down that river. We beat everybody by a long shot down that river, and we got down at the takeout soon enough to kind of mess around, fish a little bit, and mess around, swim, waiting on everybody else to get there. But that boy was a natural paddler in a canoe. I didn't know how well he'd do or if he'd like it. Man, he really liked it. Kept telling me, "Dad, I had so much fun." I said, "Well, I knew you would if you just go with me." So glad he went with me. Definitely a memory I'll never forget. My daughter was in the other canoe with her stepmom, and they were having all their kind of problems the whole way. They were getting backwards, and they were getting caught up in trees, and they had a blast, but they had to fight all the way because neither one of them was very experienced either. And of course, I was the only one really experienced in canoeing there, and I kept my son and I straight. And yeah, my daughter said, "Dad, we was in trees most of the time, but we had such fun." Well, I get caught up again. Oh, let go. There it goes. Mess with it a little bit and get it out. That was a good cast. That was the one and only time that I had both of my kids on a float trip with me. That was a lot of fun. Good place to stop here and check some comments. Hey, Cole Region, how are you? Appreciate you. Hey, Foothills, thanks for stopping in. You having a great day, my friend? Yes, sir. Yep. Very muddy. What river? We're actually in Springfield Lake. That's the nearest biggest city to where I'm at, Springfield, Missouri. So this is Springfield Lake. I forget the James River. It flows into the James at the bottom of the you can see the dam over there. I'm gonna head over that way. There's some fishing docks over that way, but below that dam is the James River. It's a really nice place. Very muddy. Thanks, Herbert. Hey, Chad Cock. Where is he fishing? Springfield Lake. I guess I didn't tell everybody where I was fishing. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is very relaxing. Yeah, Bill Dance is a good chap. He's in his 80s now. Last time I checked, he was still making some videos, but that's been a few years ago. Good guy, man. I love watching Bill Dance, and he'll release his bloopers videos of falling off the boat into the water, and oh man, he keeps a positive outlook on things. He's so fun to watch. That man in his 80s can slay the fish, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's really muddy bad. Like I said, we had some pretty strong pop-up thunderstorms come through last night, so I knew it was going to affect the water pretty much, but it was mainly to get out and enjoy it. Over by the dam and those fishing docks, the water is going to still be a little muddy, but it'll be a little bit better conditions over there. Up the river behind me, well, it's up the lake, but if you go as far as you can over past the major highway interstate that goes north and south on the other side of the lake, you go up into another, it's not really river, I don't think. It's more of a runoffs. I call it a creek or river. It gets a lot of fresh water up in there, but there's some nice streams that come down and dump into the lake on that side that dump a lot of fresh water in, and I've done some good fishing throwing up against those where it dumps into the lake. Oh, buddy. I was hoping to get lucky over here near these trees. Water conditions are a little bit better up against the rocks over here. Oh, big old carp. It was just out of your camera view, right beside me. Came completely out of the water. I have snagged a big carp before fishing in here. That's always fun. I was always in a little bit bigger boat. If you caught one in a kayak, that would be fun to catch. I'd take you for a little bit of a ride. I always let the drag out real loose and let it swim around and tote you around on the kayak and tire it out, and then you can just reel them right in. Oh, buddy. This is really pretty. If nothing else, I'm going to enjoy a good paddle out on the lake today. That was mainly the key. Fishing's always a bonus, and if you catch some, but just getting out and troll around, that's what's fun. Yeah, our main lakes, Stockton and Table Rock, it's hit or miss with your signal. So I know live, it's good to do videos, but to do lives, it's not ideal. If you do shore fishing, get a spot where you get a good signal, you have to sit still. But if like kayak fishing and stuff, you can't. I mean, the signal's spotty here as it is, but oh man, this is where I've caught some fish before, but like I said, it's definitely not ideal fishing today. Of course, when you get a good cast like that is when your bait usually gets tangled up. Oh, buddy. Oh, what did I do that for? Yeah, I gotta get me some more rooster tails and blue fox spinner baits, some smaller baits for crappie and trout and stuff. I'm out of all that. I can't find my little fishing box that has all my small spinner baits in it. I misplaced it somewhere. Looked everywhere. I'm sure I'll find it eventually. Hope everybody had a good 4th. I'm sure everybody did a lot of barbecuing. I guess that's really all we did. Was my mother-in-law stopped by and we barbecued a bunch of meat. Had a good time, had good food. Didn't buy any fireworks this year, which was all right with me. There's plenty going off to watch. I think it's funny. I mean, every holiday is a money catcher, but definitely 4th of July, you literally burn your money. That's what my dad would always say. He goes, I don't really like buying fireworks. I don't have $100 bills to roll up and burn. Which is true, I guess, but got something to show for it for a short bit. Some enjoyment. I know my kids really enjoyed it as growing up. They loved fireworks, shooting them off and watching them. And if you don't want to buy them yourself, there's plenty of displays you can go see in all the different little towns around here. They try to spread it out where you can go to a different town, for a week or two during the 4th of July season to see some good displays. We didn't go to a single one this year. So hot, miserable, even hotter than normal. It's usually always hot on 4th of July, but this year it was super hot and super humid. It's either hot and humid or super rainy on the 4th of July here. I know many of 4th of July's have been rained out, stormed out, but there's always the next day. Somebody's mowing. Our lawn's gonna need to be mowed here real soon. All this extra rain we've been getting, man. Like I said, if it wasn't so muddy, I'd be doing pretty good today. And if I would have got down here about an hour earlier than I did, I would have got down here about 6 a.m. That would have been a little bit more ideal for today, but like I said, underneath the with the water conditions the way they are, and I didn't expect much fish. Might get lucky. Be really cool if I got a channel cat. The other weekend I went with my nephew. I caught a channel cat on a rattle trap, and he caught one on a rooster tail spinnerbait. Oh, I just had a tap. Something hit it, or I hit a fish. Did feel something there, but man, when those catfish hit these spinnerbaits, man, it's like a ton of bricks. That bait no more than hit the water, and that catfish had it. That was huge. My nephew actually hooked on that rooster tail, hooked the biggest catfish he's ever seen in his life. We didn't land it. It got right to the side of the boat, and I was gonna hook its lip with my fish clamp, and it rolled one more time and broke his line. It was on 4-pound test line, and if I'm guessing, my fish I caught was 5 pounds, so it was at least twice as big. I'd say it was 10 pounds, if not a little bit bigger. It was a big catfish. You could stick either one of our fists in the mouth of that fish. It was a big fish. I wish we would have got it in the boat. He definitely would have kept that. Man, I like hitting those limbs today. Okay, let's see here. It's beautiful there. Yeah, it is. It's really pretty. I don't know if the picture live streamed ours here in Coletown, PA. Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet. Watched that video. As videoed. Guys, let's check in the comments here. Yeah, there's a lot of videos I gotta catch up on for sure. Let me get that spinner straightened up here. All right, get up underneath those trees is ideal. Some logs up here I want to fish around. I did see a couple of fish up by the rocks, so there is some movement up near shore. I couldn't exactly see what species. It didn't look like carp by the fins I seen. But until you catch one, you really can't tell unless it gets completely water. Usually when you see the carp roll out of the water, you can tell they're carp. This muddy water, usually when they're breaking the top, it's usually the carp. I did catch a big drum weekend before last up there with my nephew too. Carp family. Those are always fun to catch. They like hitting spinner baits really well. I caught him on a rattle trap too. They fight really well. At this point, when you got water conditions like this, anything you catch is awesome. Oh man, I hit another tree. Man, I'm good at hitting trees today, and well, good thing about it, we can go get it. It's one thing bad about shore fishing: when you get hung up, you either have to wade out or you lose a lot of baits. Good thing about kayak fishing, or any kind of boat fishing for that matter, is you can get out and explore and enjoy the scenery. Nice and shady right here. Oh buddy, look at all those bagworms. Don't want to get in those the big spider web in there with it too. Come here, you little spinnerbait. Oh man, get out of this tree before I get another snake. That would be good, would it? It'll be good for you guys to watch. I have seen a lot of bloopers on Facebook. Not Facebook. YouTube about catching stuff like that. Well, I'll be. That was nice. I just broke the end of my rod tip. No big deal. Ain't the first time I ever fished with a broken rod. Won't be the last time either. Won't be the last time. Yeah, it's a pretty day. Alright, let me retie this spinnerbait back on here. I didn't hit anything hard with it. Must have been cracked. That's not cool. My favorite rod just got a couple inches shorter. I was just saying that it's a little bit longer of a rod than I normally use in my kayak, but I didn't mean to shorten it. Oh well. Last time I went out for my nephew in a boat, the guy I was fishing with dropped a rod in the lake. So we spent hours upon hours trying to fish that rod out of the lake. And I got lucky enough and hooked it in the eyelets on his pole. Yeah, it's not too bad. That'll work. But yeah, I was lucky. I put on a treble hook and was dragging the bottom of the lake and snagged his rod for him. And of course it was the most expensive rod he's ever spent. I think between the rod and reel, he spent $200 or $250 on this set. I said, well, I'm gonna stay out here until we catch that thing. You go home and tell your wife you lost your expensive rod and reel you just bought. You're gonna be in the doghouse for a few days. So he went to go get his magnet. He was gonna drag a magnet. He drove all the way home to go get it, and of course about 10 minutes before he got back to where we were at, I texted him. I said, hey, are you missing a rod and reel? I found your rod and reel. He was so happy. But yeah, heck, if I would have broke this pole in half, I'd still be fishing with it. It'd be about the ideal length if you broke it in half. This kayak, ain't no shame in fishing with a broken pole. It's just the tip. You can fix it if you want. It don't affect me catching any fish. Well, today ain't catching any anyways, but right that tree wouldn't be bad spot to cast in there. Let me back up here a little bit. That would be a good little spot right there. Oh yeah. Now if I can catch something, that would be ideal. Come on, baby. I usually do a medium slow retrieval when the water's just murky. Want some good flashes to get their attention. Like I said, if I do catch anything today, it's going to be right in the nose. I'll probably get hung up on that tree if I cast out there. Just got to be careful not to get hooked up on the rod tip is the only thing. Oh yeah. See if I can't. Boy, that'd be awesome if you could get something right there. On a clear day, this would be a great spot. Like I said in the past, I've caught several fish up and through here. Thought about putting some plastics on later, and plastics usually don't do too bad in murky water. May just end up cruising the lake on the kayak and just exploring more than anything. Let's see here. It's a mother's larva. Yep. Yeah, they call them bagworms. Those look like spider web in a tree. They're bagworms, fuzzy little worms. They're a mess. They get so thick. Some years they're worse than others. Let's see here. I'm crushing that. Thumbs up. Appreciate that mainly. I despise bagworm spiders and even more. Yes. And what's bad is when, like at nighttime when we was kids and we'd be running through the woods or something and run through a low-lying bush or limbs that had those bagworms in them, get those things all over you. Oh man, that was worse. We still cracking on it. It won't stop us. That's right. No, the lose rod. Not the lose rod. Yep. I snapped the end of it big time. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Oh, I definitely know it's not the scientific name, bagworm, but that's what everybody here calls them. They're a nasty little creature. And I know there's an abundance of them, so as far as I'm concerned, you could set fire to every nest of them and burn them all. That'd be all right with me. Overabundance of them. And the bad thing about them is there's a lot of the birds and stuff don't like eating them. I'm sure there's some that do, but there's so many bagworms. Nasty. My mom and dad had, well, in our back of our yard, we have a big walnut tree, and my parents have a big walnut tree in the front of their yard, and it would look like spiders had just built webs all through the trees. There's so many bagworms. You couldn't hardly see anything. Couldn't hardly see the leaves on the tree with all the bagworm nests. So bad. I know some farmers, orchard farmers, primarily fruit farmers, been known to sacrifice some of when they pick their last crop of fruit. They've torched their tops of their trees just to kill all those bagworms. They wreak havoc on the fruit. They'll destroy your fruit crop. That's why you always see these orchard farmers spraying for those bagworms and other insects. It's hard to get, you know. A lot of these so-called organic farmers lose a lot of their crop because they don't want to use any pesticides. I understand, but boy, it's hard to keep insects and stuff away without some kind of natural means of detractant for the insects. Well, I need to trim off the tip of my rod closer to the eyelet so it won't get caught on that rod tip. It's the only thing I could complain about my rod being broke, tip being broke. I do have a little clipper. I could clip it off real close to the next eyelet, but it'd make it difficult to repair. I guess I could always go in the middle of the next eyelet down, and I don't even know if I'll repair it. Don't hurt nothing. Growing up, majority of my rods when I was a kid, I don't know how many of those I broke. Fished with them until I became an adult and bought new ones. I ought to stop fishing this little area and take you over to those the pump station over there for the power plant right here close by. City Utilities power plant. Let me take you over there and show you that real quick. Ain't doing too hot over here anyways. Might do a little bit better over there by the bluffs by the dam. Of course, you can only go so close to the dam for obvious reasons. But they got buoys out there that you can't pass. It's fun. There's a ultimate fisherman there flying. A crane. Don't look like he's doing too good this morning either. Yeah, there's some little carp flopping over there. Yeah, that's that little discharge pipe over here for the power plant. Sometimes you can get underneath it. I took some family around it one time and caught a couple. Yeah, this is pretty awesome over here. So many people tell you, get you a little motor for your kayak. Anytime you here in our state you put any kind of motor on any kind of boat, you have to register it. Some states you have to register no matter what, but here, as long as your propulsion's by oars, you don't have to register it. But the minute you put a trolling motor on it, you got to register it. But thank goodness you don't have to register trolling motors anymore. The state of Missouri used to make you register your trolling motors too, just to make more money. My nephew is telling me that they changed the outboard motor rules for Missouri. I haven't looked up to see if it's true or not, but he said anything under 9.9 horse now I don't have to register in Missouri, but I don't know. You used to, yeah. But it's been a while. I have a Chinese or Japanese outboard that I don't even have a title for. I bought new. So you'd have to go to the Highway Patrol to get I forget what form it is, to be able to register it. If you don't have a title for like an outboard, get a Chinese motor. A lot of Chinese motors that you get don't come with applications for titles. But that'd be really cool if they changed that law for the smaller outboard motors. That would be great. Especially that they sell so many now that don't have titles. Let me check here. Is that water from the power plant hot? No, and I can't actually reach where the discharge is. I'm not sure this pipe here, if it's an overflow or auxiliary, I'm not sure. I've never actually seen any come out of this one, but where it comes out at is on the other side of the fishing docks up here, so I can't get to it. Possibly it's probably warm, I'm guessing. Never actually felt it. They kill trees too. Yep. Yeah, that let me get over here. I'm really wanting to fish that, but I'm not really sure if this is like I said, an auxiliary. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never seen any water coming out of this pipe. But over by the fishing docks, it pumps water out. And a lot of people like fishing in it and catch fish. So I'm assuming it's warm. especially in the winter time when people are fishing it. They'll catch a lot of fish where that water's coming out. This is just the backup power plant. This isn't the main power plant. We've got a huge power plant off the highway coming in. This one's just like a secondary little power plant. A lot of people's sprayed graffiti on it. That's been news in the last 4 or 5 years, I'm guessing. Last time I was out here, it wasn't graffitied up like that as bad. So, yeah, it's really muddy up in here. A lot of people climb out on that and get out on that platform and fish off of it too. Of course, you're not supposed to, but since when does anybody do what they're supposed to do? I may end up heading up on the other side of the lake. If I don't do any good over here, may just turn it into a kayak strolling live. Whoa. Well, that was a pretty good cast. Let's see if I can get a... Be a good place to do a stealth camp with my hammock. I've thought of that, going up in there. And my blades are caught up. Line cut up on that corner. A lot of people tying limb lines too off of it. Well, I wouldn't call them limb lines, but same concept. If you want to catch carp and catfish. Man, it is a warm scorcher out in the sun. Being in that shade was nice. On the other side, way over there on the trees, way over there, up against those trees, I've caught some fish over there before too. There's not a lot of people fishing out here today. There's a few on shore back there. When I launched the kayak, it looked like they were live bait fishing. Didn't ask them if they were doing any good. Probably should have, but I just wanted to get in the water since I was late. Didn't look like they were doing too good. Probably like me, just wanting to get out. And there's a lot of bald eagles here. A lot of wild, a lot of different species of birds. There's a guy doing photography up there. A lot of people like doing photography here. Like I said, there's several bald eagles that people like to do photography on. A lot of waterfowl. There's one there on that tree limb. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in here. All different little birds. This is part of the power plant too. Not 100% positive. I'm not up on power plants. I know nothing about it. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what that is. Back up a little bit here. Good places to get snagged up on if you get too close. Well, the fishing docks you can see up there coming up. Nobody's fishing, of course. You got a ladder that you got access to that you could get down off this thing. You could sleep on the edge of that thing and do some stealth camping. You could utilize those posts and hang a hammock off of, but you do have access to that ladder there. Let me get going on past this thing. Do have a cell tower over there. Obviously it's not for Verizon. Unless I'd have a good signal. I don't know what company it is. Be ideal if it was a Verizon tower. Yeah, the pipeline coming out of the side of the hill's unhooked, so this part of the power plant's not used anymore, obviously. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I'm getting a phone call. I usually turn my notifications off. But yeah, they disconnected this, if I can get you a view of that. They disconnected the pipe. I don't know if you can see that pipe. It's not connected anymore, so they obviously don't use this, whatever this was for. Looked like a drain of some sort. Ooh, spider. Nice spider. You're not going to be on the boat with me. Go. Some things I don't do is spiders, and I don't do snakes. Not terrified of all of them, but I don't like them. Oh, wow. That was not good. See if I can retrieve it. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Come on. Oh, I'm caught good in that one. Yeah. Watch out for the eyes. I always look down when I pull back on it. I don't know how many times I've been smacked with my lure. It passed. getting smacked in the nose with a lure doesn't feel good. Really wouldn't feel good if it was in the eye. Come on, fish. Somebody take pity on me. Problem is, after heavy rain like that, it washes a lot of stuff in the water too. Probably ought to just tootle around. Guess I could troll behind me. Wish I could put a spoon on and troll for a while. Got the rod holder in front of me. Whew. I need to find some more shade, that's for sure. Okay, what did I miss? It's hard to do comments in here. Let's see here. Interesting fact, most 9.9 horsepower are actually 10. They call them 9.9 to get past the rule. Yeah, I would say probably, yeah, for the body of water.